The historic handshake with high stakes. Right now, President Trump's in the middle of meetings with Kim Jong-un, and so far, it appears the summit in Singapore has gone according to plan. And we begin that night with that story tonight, the breaking story. Good evening, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. This is the first time a sitting U.S. president has ever met with a North Korean leader.
CBS 2's Jessica Layton following the story. And Jessica, the private meeting with the two leaders wrapped up just over an hour ago.
And Christine and Maurice, that meeting lasted just about 45 minutes. The president went to Singapore poised to make the biggest deal of his life, saying he would know within a minute of meeting Kim Jong-un whether this relationship would be a success.
We will solve a big problem, a big dilemma that until this point has been unable to be solved. I know that working together we will get it taken care of.
They've exchanged letters and nasty words, but never a handshake. The world taking in the stunning sight in Singapore as President Trump and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un came face to face for the first time in a meeting that so many thought was impossible, both seemingly open to change the course of history.
I feel really great. We're going to have a great discussion, and it's my honor, and we will have a terrific relationship, I have no doubt.
우리 모든 것을 이겨내고 이 자리까지 왔습니다.
The old prejudices and practices worked as obstacles on our way forward, but we overcame all of them, and we are here today. That's true.
After the pleasantries in front of the press, the cameras were kicked out as the two leaders went behind closed doors with only their translators. Mr. Trump's skill for deal-making and reputation as a master negotiator getting its biggest test here, with hopes of eventually achieving what the U.S. would consider success.
The complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of the Korea Peninsula is the only outcome that the United States will accept.
Mr. President, how's it going so far, sir? Very good. What do you think? Very, very good.
At the conclusion of the private meeting, President Trump and the leader he once referred to as Little Rocket Man didn't elaborate on any progress before going into their working lunch with advisors, where the longtime adversaries once again shook hands from across the table. The U.S. on one side, North Korea on the other. This monumental meeting happening mere months after it was feared the two nations were on the brink of war. Koreans in the tri-state area often reluctant to talk about the implications of the historic summit, but this man in Fort Lee is optimistic.
Anyway, it's changing. Changes, I think, is better than nothing.
Right now in Singapore, it's just after 11 a.m. President Trump is expected to speak about this historic summit in a few hours before coming back to the United States. Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.